Hey, this is John here, doing a little update here. So this is beginning of episode number 8. So we're 7.5 months in, it's mid-November. So it's officially fall time now, it's just begun. It's beginning down to 45 degrees at night, so things have been changing here. As far as the raccoons, well, you can see some of the kind of doesn't seem to like the cooler weather. Some of the other stuff has been kind of dying back. Iris has been dying back a bit. So I'm just cutting off a leaf every week here or so. So that's okay. I think these are going to be fine just staying in the pond. Some of the plants we know, like the tara plant, that doesn't like to be in water year round. It's only during the growing season. So probably be taking those out, as I've already taken 2 of them out, setting them aside for winter, and then I'll put them back in the spring. As I mentioned before, some of the things we're going to be doing is we definitely want to split this and make that into 2. Same thing over there, and we want to divide that up. Those seem to be the best plants. They seem to be the ones that like to be in water year-round. Over here, we have some, I don't know if this is dying or what's going on here. It just doesn't look very healthy. This one looks like it is dying. I'm not sure if this is the kind of plant that likes to be in water year-round. So I might have to take those out just for winter. I'd like to try to have this be as consistent as possible, so leave everything in year-round. Be low maintenance as possible. So some of these plants that don't fare so well, for whatever reason, may have to just come out and just be eliminated. And just keep the things that do work, like this iris here is obviously still doing well. And this is the champion plant for sure. With the umbrella plant. So it's now fall time. Like I mentioned, December 1st. Getting colder every day, about 45 degrees at night, 65 in the daytime. So just kind of documenting how the changes have happened. Hasn't really rained very much. We had a half-inch of rain, so I was able to get about 1.5 inches back up here on the water level by directing some water from the back downspout, which is where that black pipe is going to over there. And but we're still at about 19 inches down, and but it's not really quite the rainy season yet, so we should have some rainfall coming here in December and January primarily. So it'll be interesting to see how much we can gather if we can fill this thing back up again. That's definitely the objective. I don't want to use any city water. So this is what this area is looking like. Over here, as you can see, things have changed a little bit here. So stuff has died back a little bit more. We're able to keep the water fairly clear by using the Markov stuff that I mentioned earlier a few episodes ago. I put a couple tablets in once a month, and it seems to get it. I'm just about to do it again today. But you can see that it's fairly clear. I think it's clear, for a pond. The fish seem to like it. Speaking of the fish, one of them is right here, just hovering by the water here. You can see it right there. The gray one, and the orange one is over right there. If you can see it. It was over here, but it moved. This one seems to be a little bit calmer and cooler, just kind of stealthy. The gray one is so camouflaged you can barely see it. Up, it's moving now, hiding. So that's good. So the raccoons have not killed them, which is great. I have seen the raccoons again. 4 of them, the last sighting, I actually saw them in person, just happened to be looking out. And 4 of them came creeping across the driveway there, one right after the other. It was crazy. Chased them away, but I'm sure they'll be back again. Just discovered something interesting here. So this is in December. The fish don't have as much food to eat in the pond, but I have a rain barrel here, and I noticed while watering some plant that I'm planting here that there's a bunch of mosquito larvae in here. I don't know if you can see that right there. They're all over the place, swimming around in there. And so that's fish food. The fish are going to be very happy if I give them a little bit of a supplement here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the pond. Okay, so here's another little bucket here. You can see all these round creatures. Something other than a mosquito. Swimming around in there. Okay, so it's December 12th here. I just did maintenance on the pond yesterday. We had a little windstorm again, so a couple things were knocked over, so I put everything back in position. And then, now, the next day here, I come out and see this, which is absolutely freaking crazy again. As you can see, all of these were up here. They're now back on the bottom again. That was up here. This was up here. These were all in order. All of these were standing upright. So we still have the raccoon problem. So I got myself a new interesting product here as an anti-raccoon deterrent here. It's actually a matte material, kind of designed for cats and dogs to keep them off the furniture and everything. But I think it's going to work really well for our situation here as well. As we know, the raccoons do not like to walk on pointy objects. They're very sensitive paws, and just like a cat or a dog. And we know they like to walk all around here. We know they like to, we've seen the pictures of them right here on the edge where they like to hunch down and poke at stuff. And we also know that they get out of the water. They go into the water and they come out of the water. So they're going to have to grab onto this. And so the theory is that if we make a very uncomfortable landing for them, then such as trying to climb on this, that they're just going to be so uncomfortable that they're just not even going to bother. They're going to basically say, to hell with that, we're not even going to come here, and just leave. And it's passive too, so it's just nice. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, raining, or if I'm gone on vacation for a week or two. This should be passively able to keep those raccoons away. So we got a whole cluster of them here. I think it was about 15 of them for like $30 on Amazon. And so yeah, I'm very excited about this. I think this is going to work really well for us. And it's not too, they're not too ugly. They're like, you know, they're not too crazy looking. So I think at least until we can come up with something better, I think this is what we're going to try out here. Basically just run them around the perimeter, except for the places where, like behind the plants there, where it's already naturally blocked. But anyway, without further ado, let's go and get this installed. We're expecting rain, so it's going to be interesting if we can fill this pond up a little bit. We're pretty as low as we're probably going to go here. We're 20 inches down, middle of December, and should be interesting to see how that does. But anyways, let's go ahead and get this installed. You might notice something looks a little different here. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but we've got some, got rid of those damn handrails, which I really hated for the longest period of time. It's actually not so difficult to take out, actually. They're clamped in place, and basically there's a sleeve, and they basically just slide in place. So you basically just lift them out. Once you release the clamp, they come right out. So I set those off to the side. 100% removable, or replaceable, I guess you should say. Could easily reverse these and put those back in at any given time if I choose to do so. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and install these guys. Here's what it's looking like right now. So I actually have one to spare. We don't have to run it all the way around because they're going to climb up right here. They can easily climb over here and get up here too, but they're going to run into nowhere to go. There's no way they're going to be able to get to that section because it's too tall. There's no way to get to it without walking over this stuff first. So I strongly suspect they'll never get to that midsection. So yeah, this is basically what we got right here. They always come in on this side, but they can't climb a vertical wall. So they come in right here and they're going to walk right here. And then as soon as they hit that, they're going to be like, nope. And they're going to turn around and that's going to repel them. They might come over here, try to climb up over here, and they'll climb up here and they'll be like, nope, don't like that either. So there's really no way for them to get up there without hitting this stuff. So should be interesting to see how effective it is. Okay, it's now December 21st, first day of winter. We're right in the middle of a major rain event here in Southern California. So my gauge shows it's about 2 inches or so. We'll probably get another ½ inch or so. But as you can see, our pond is filling up very nicely. I've since added, as I mentioned last time, I added an extra pump over there in that downspout right there. And so that is currently on right there and it's putting water out, you can see. So what that gains us is basically for every inch of rain, we should be able to get an additional 2 inches off this one, which is the back downspout. And then that one over there is another 2 inches. So basically 5x. We should be able to, for every inch, we should be able to get 5 now. So that should gain us pretty nice amount of water here. And that's what we need to do because our adjusted water level dropped 32 inches in like 9 months. So we have to be able to put that 32 inches back in. And it does not rain 32 inches here. It rains maybe 6 or 7 or 8 inches a year. All of it here in December, January, and February. So what we need to do is we need to magnify that water and fill this thing back up. Otherwise, this is not viable. I want this to be 100% rainwater. So I think it's going to work out really nicely with our downspouts and our catching our water. It's looking pretty nice right now because all it would take is 6 inches to get 30 inches back in. So that's what we would need. Okay, so now it's the day after. I just took the measurement. 2¼ inches rain over 3 days period. And that got us a collective amount of about 10 inches. So we went from -20 to -10 just in 3 days. So that's pretty nice. Very good news here. So all we're going to need is about another 2½ and this sucker will be overfilling. Trying to get the full mark is right about here, and an additional 2 inches would be up here. If we talk 3, it's like up against the edge, so it's going to be overfilling. I hope. I mean, that's our goal. I like to overfill it slightly. Once it gets up to there, though, it's like that's as good as the effort's going to get. There's not going to be a reason to mess with it after that. And it's only December 22nd, so we still got all the January and February. January is primarily the rainy season, so it should be pretty easy for us to get this back up.